All right, all right, all right. We are live. We're live. Wait a minute. Why does my background look so? Let me shut these blinds. Hold on. What up, kinfolk? What up, kinfolk? Now, I had to make some runs and shit, and I was supposed to start at 4 o'clock. So I set this. I set it up for. I set it up yesterday to do it live at 4 o'clock today. So I'm a little late. I'm never late. I hate to be late. I be getting on people who are late when they do the live stream. First of all, before I continue, hit the number 8 in the chat if you can hear me well. Right? Hit the number 8 so I can continue. So thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Donnie. So I'm kind of disorganized right now because I didn't line things up. Baby, I'm gonna call you back. I'm doing a live. All right. So I'm a little discombobulated right now, but I'm gonna make it work. Um, Already somebody talking about what's cheap. Relax, just listen, and you'll get everything. Okay. Um, so I'm a little discombobulated. Let me get my bearings straight. Hold on, we coming. Let me get my tablet together. Make sure that I can see the chat, and we're gonna get going. What's up, Wudjau? I know you watching. What up, Ankh? So hold on. Let me get the Chief X channel. 1 second, y'all. All right. All right. I can see now. X channel. 1 second, y'all. All right. All right, let's go. So I have this thing. Real quick. Sorry for my disorganization. Um, 1 second. Share my screen, the entire screen. Yep. Also share system audio. I got it. And we're going to begin in 3 minutes. up, Isaiah?
I got you on my mind, Can't stop thinking about you all the time, Na 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 na. It happened all so fast. I wanna make it last. Na 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 na. So if you want me to, then maybe say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. No one has ever loved me the way you do. I'll never find another one like you. Na 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 na. Shower me with your love. Now I can't get enough. Na 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 na. So if you want me to, then maybe say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Shining like a light in the
Yes.
nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got.
That's my shit right there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've procrastinated long enough. They hit the number 8, so I guess everybody can hear me well, right? So we're gonna get into this. So I have the title: Experts Prove Chief X been right. That's how you say it. Experts prove Chief X been right. Wudjau, Ankh, and Emykhet debunked and proven liars. Let's get one thing straight. I didn't want to put Ankh in the title, but I was going through some old videos and I seen Ankh was going against me on this topic. But he changed so people got short memories and forgot. But I'm going to remind you, Ankh wanted to debate me on Black Egypt because he was claiming the ancient Egyptians was black. He was claiming black folk down south jumped off Egypt in its early stages, and Narm and all them people were Nubians. This was Ankh's claim. Don't make me play it. Now, people have changed because I beat them up so bad. They've came around, which is good. It's a positive thing, right? So I made the claim 2 years ago that the modern day Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. They never disappeared. I made this claim 3 years ago, and people fought me tooth and nail. They said, "Oh no, Chief X invaders." Let me shut my door. They say, "Oh no, Chief X, you got it wrong. Invaders came and they changed the population and all this and this and this and that." Now, I have several videos with experts that Ankh and Garfield has brought on. And this is the third expert who agrees with me. And I've showed them out their mouth. Agree. Hey, Lucas Brown, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Yes, Lucas Brown, I would love to have an Egyptian as a guest. Are you Egyptian, Lucas Brown? So, yes, I would love to have one. So, I was listening to a live stream on whose channel was this? Let me get it straight. Let me make sure I got the proper channel. Oh, it was on the Community of Skeptics, Ankh's channel, right? And they had an expert on there named Professor Peter J. Brand. Absolutely loved that expert. He kept shit real, and he was meticulous about the words he was saying. So I'm going to play his words, and then we're going to hear my words, right? Also, I have, if you read the description. Okay, I see you, Lucas Brown. I hear you. Also, if you read the description, I said with a question mark, what does RMT, RMT mean? Because Wudjau and Emykhet argued me down about that several years ago. I said RMT means people, mankind, or human. It doesn't mean Egyptian. People going crazy again. I'm going to show this. It doesn't mean Egyptian alone. You have to say RMT and Kemet. Then they're talking about Egyptian. But just the word RMT, RMT, strictly means people, humanity. Now, why did this discussion come about? Let me share my screen real quick. This all jumped off and started. Why, Chief X? Oops. Because of this image we see on the screen right here. All Afrocentrics, Smash Rockwell, even Ankh jumped in the car on this. Asar, Sanjeti, all these people were claiming that these two black figures or Nubians were Egyptians because the word RMT was next to them. Therefore, they claimed that they were Egyptians. I already showed Wudjau was saying that out of his mouth. I showed all these guys saying that out of their mouth. I said, I'm not so necessarily sure that RMT just means Egyptian. It means people and mankind. So Wudjau got to arguing me down about it because in this conscious community, for lack of a better word, they like to use the word RMT all the time. It's not always used in the world of academia as much, but it is used sometimes, right? But the Afrocentrics use it to make a certain point, right? Now, this is where the crux of this argument began. Now, who else began to do that, right? As you see on the top, it says what? Africana Studies, right? Professor Manu Mpim, who's a fraud, a habitual liar, right? They use this. He has a whole blog talking about this and claiming that A is an Egyptian, right? This is Manu Mpim's blog. It goes into detail and he calls them the Table of Nations. This is not the Table of Nations. It's a facsimile that anti-Diop, Sheikh Anti-Diop, used in one of his books. Sheikh Anti-Diop was wrong as fuck. He was pandering to black folk. He knew better. This was an intentional lie by Sheikh Anta Diop. But that's a whole nother story. I'll go into that another time, right? They call A the Egyptian, B is the Indo-European, C is other blacks in Africa, and D is the Semite. This is all wrong. Now, I'm just telling you where the crux of the argument began, right? So let's get into it. So I just want to show you Africana Studies, as you see right here. This is what they push in Afrocentricity, right? They just leaned on it. Hey, these are Egyptian because it says remit. We're going to debunk that today. So here's a whole blog. These are the figures. And this is supposedly says remit, as you see right here. Oops. I hope y'all can see that. Listen, let me blow it up real quick. We got to be clear. So he says, man into the photo of 4 Egyptians, remit. So he's calling these black folk in the tomb of Ramses, the Book of Gates, Egyptians. He said 4 Egyptians. Right? Can you see? Egyptians, remit. It doesn't mean Egyptian, but we're going to get into that. In the tomb KV11. Right? Whole blog. You can go to manumpim's.com and this shit in Ramses and this shit will pop up. Right? Now, I'm just trying to let you know, and I'm leading up to something. This is where it comes from. Afrocentrics been using this bullshit forever to play you and make you think this Nubian is an Egyptian and this is how Egyptians looked. Are we clear now? Okay. So Chief X made the claim. And let's hear it out the horse's mouth. Let's deal with this word remit real quick. Okay? Let's hear what remit means from the expert. Wait a minute. Let me just do this real quick. RMT, 1 says human being, person. 2, someone, anyone. And then when you get down to 9, Egyptians in contrast to Libyans, Nubians, and Asiatics. Let me be clear on that and be transparent. That is the last of them, but initially it just says human beings, person. Some things say mankind, right? So I also went over to the Thesaurus Linguae Egyptian. This is in German, right? Let's blow this up. What do they say? You see, it says, oops, let me make it smaller real quick. It says translation of what? RMT, as you see. Let me highlight it. We're not going to miss a beat. RMT, as you see it, as I highlight it. Then it goes down to translation. What does it say right here? Man, human being, man. And I guess this is human. And I don't know if it's Greek. But the translation, human being, mankind, man, people. All these words are similar. It doesn't say Egyptian right here, does it? Okay, now we're clear on that. So the experts says it means people, human, mankind, right? So let's go here. This video made February 7th, 2022. And I'm teaching what remit means because I thought Wudjau was fucking it up. Let's listen to what I said.
I looked, did it say Egyptian? So I started just researching further, right? And remit doesn't mean Egyptian per se alone, okay? Remit doesn't mean Egyptian per se alone, okay? Remit doesn't mean Egyptian per se alone, okay? Remit doesn't mean Egyptian per se alone. And remit doesn't mean Egyptian per se alone, okay?
Pause. This is what I said 2.5 years ago. Remit does not mean Egyptian, but they can be referring to the Egyptian, but you have to add. I may say it here, let's see.
So that's my stance, right? People per se alone, okay? So that's my stance, right? Egyptian per se alone, okay? So that's my stance, right? People got bothered by this and started making videos and trying to prove me wrong and show me wrong and show me that it doesn't, okay? Now that's just the base argument. Now let me get back to so we have two arguments here. Stick with me and stay focused on my argument so you can understand and you won't let them sway my argument or change my argument or put words in my mouth. My other argument are these individuals that are on the walls in Ramses III tomb are Nubian, not Egyptian. The opposition, which is Wudjau, Ankh, Brother Ankh, Bobby Banger, Smash Rockwell, aka Jonathan Owens, and everybody else in their mama in the Afrocentric community, is believing that these are Egyptians and not Nubians. They are wrong as fuck. Okay? They are dead wrong. Those are my two arguments. RMT does not mean Egyptian. And these figures you see on the wall are not Egyptian, they're Nubian. Bottom line, it's a simple discussion. It doesn't require. Now, quick. Used. Oh, do not tell me I lost it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna move forward.
So let's move forward.
Find it again. Let me find it again. I just want to understand, and you won't let.
Let's move forward. Those are my stances. Now, let's see what the expert had to say about this. Peter Brand, Professor Peter Brand, PhD, Egyptologist.
In Egyptian that means the people of Egypt, but it uses the word for people, which is Romachet. And but it uses the word for people, which is Romachet. And
it means remit.
And then it uses the word for Egypt, which means Kemet, and it would be of Egypt. but it uses the word for people, which is Romachet, and then but it uses the word for people, which is Romachet, and then but it uses the word for people, which is Romachet, and then it uses the word for Egypt, which means Kemet, and it would be Romachet and Kemet, which means the people of Egypt. Romachet and Kemet, which means the people of Egypt.
Pause. The expert co-signs me. He says remit means people, period. But when you add Kemet to it, then you say people of Kemet. This is what he says. The same thing I said remit alone just means people. But when you add remit in Kemet, then that means the people of Kemet. I don't see what the problem is. They argued me down 2 years ago about this, and today the expert co-signs me. Listen again.
Which means literally the people of the Black Land. So again, I would have to look at dictionaries to see if I could find this particular word that's written this way. But I just wonder whether
I think it is. I think it is in a dictionary. But
okay,
that's it.
well,
I'm not sure if you can find it actually in a sentence. So okay,
yeah,
I got you.
It's also possible that this is a writing that would be read the people of the Black Land as opposed to the Black people.
Okay.
Because the word for Egypt is most often attested as Kemet, the Black. The word for Egypt is most often attested as Kemet, the Black Land.
Correct.
But the word for people, the standard word for people is Romachet, often attested as Kemet, the Black Land.
Correct.
But the word for people, the standard word for people is Romachet. People, the standard word for people is Romachet.
I've been correct the entire time. It was Wudjau in the Amun Ra Squad clique who miseducated you because they wanted to cater to them Nubians being Egyptians. It was a mind game that you guys couldn't see through. Let's continue.
Right. Ramesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Remesh. Okay. Am I saying it wrong? Remesh.
Well,
Remech.
Remech means man or person. 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 But the plural form of Remech, which means a man or a person, is Romachet. And that means people.
Okay. So if you was to find it,
Are we clear? So when I see I should have had it up. Those two Nubians, and they say it says remit, they must just mean mankind or people. They're not saying that these are the Egyptians. Some scholars say that, so it's a discrepancy. Let's continue.
I think it is in the dictionary, maybe Faulkner's dictionary. I'm not quite sure.
Can you hold on? I actually had that dictionary. Can I just grab it real quick?
Yeah, grab it. Do your thing real quick. Yeah, grab that. We need to figure out. Yeah, Smash, was that in the, I mean, I think I'm talking about Smash. Yeah, this is it, actually Smash work.
Now, let's move on from that. So, this Facebook group, these messages popping up on my Facebook. Kemet Nubia Camp, these are Afrocentrics who promote this Blackology. This whole Facebook page is Blackology. This is the same page where they have these four figures, as you see. They're calling them Egyptians. So it's not just Wudjau and Smash and Ankh in them. It's all black Afrocentrics who's teaching about Egypt. They are calling let me blow it up so you can see. They are calling these four men. You see, Manu and Pim said it. Now on this Facebook group, REM is the term defined analogous to ancient Egyptians. It means people, mankind, but it was exclusively used to define themselves, not other groups or nationalities. Right? Below is an artifact featuring four remit with the metanetter hieroglyphs written between the men. They're calling these four men Egyptians. They are wrong. Now, let's move forward. I said the ancient Egyptians, the modern day Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. The scholar backed me. Let's hear him.
Considered effeminate by the Egyptians. So again, skin color can also have a symbolic meaning. And I think that because if you actually look at Egypt today, and I have no reason to believe this was different in ancient Egyptian times, that Egyptians have varieties of skin color. Some people, if you actually look at Egypt today, and I have no reason to believe this was different in ancient Egyptian times, that Egyptians have varieties of skin color. Some people are very light, some people are very dark, with every shade of color in between. Although most Egyptians are darker skinned than so-called white or Caucasian people. Although you do see people that are very pale skinned, you see people that range in color from various brown shades to people that are extremely dark skinned in Egypt. And I think this, and we can also see this in some ancient Egyptian mummies, as well as I say, in the modern Egyptian population.
Pay attention, pay attention.
And I think basically, although there have been all kinds of different groups of people who have migrated to Egypt over the past 2,000 or 3,000 years, just the fact that when you walk around Egypt today, you will see people in Egypt that I swear look like ancient Egyptian statues.
He's trying to say that they haven't changed just because of invasions, but let's continue.
The idea that somehow, I mean, I've seen Ramses and Tutankhamun and Old Kingdom pharaohs walking around Egypt today and said, oh my God, that person looks like Ramses II. Oh my God, that person looks like King so-and-so from the 4th dynasty of Egypt.
Listen.
To build a pyramid. The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I just built a pyramid. The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I mean, I've seen it. The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I mean, I've seen
it's total nonsense. They never disappeared. Afrocentrics has been lying on the ancient Egyptians, acting like they disappeared or dispersed and went to the West Africa. They're fucking liars.
The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I mean, I've seen these people that look like, Old Kingdom statues and things.
Case closed on that. I've been telling you that the modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. He just told you that. When did you tell him, Chief X? In this video right here that has about 400,000 views on TikTok. It has about 40,000 views on YouTube. Somebody else shared it. Let's hear it. This was damn near 3 years ago.
The modern day Egyptian is the ancient Egyptian. Day Egyptian is the ancient Egyptian. Period. People don't disappear. Nobody left their land and disappeared. Whenever someone was conquered, all of sub-Saharan Africa was conquered, chopped up, and divvied out. Every single one of those sub-Saharan Africans, the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, everybody in Kenya, everybody in the whole of sub-Saharan African is still there, although they were conquered. They didn't disappear. 4,000 Arabs only invaded Egypt. They didn't change the population that was millions there already. They didn't. Egyptians never ever disappeared. For you to think otherwise means you were brainwashed by Afrocentrics. The modern day Egyptians you see there right now today, July the fucking 8th, whatever the date it is, 2021, is the Egyptians that was there in ancient times. 67% of their DNA is of the ancient Egyptians. Everybody in the geographical location today was in the same geographical location thousands of years ago, 10,000 years ago. The Native Americans of today in the Americas is the same Native Americans that was there 10,000 years ago. This what niggas is lying to you about. When did the Egyptians ever write or say that they dispersed and left and went to other lands? When was this? Why are Afrocentric people lying on the ancient Egyptians? Show me when they said they dispersed and left the land and disappeared. When was this? You can't show that. They never disappeared. See, Afrocentrics would want you to believe, would like you to believe that the ancient Egyptians just poof and disappeared and dispersed somewhere, and maybe, which is not true, went to West Africa or Central Africa and just left the fucking land. It's total bullshit. And just left the fucking land. It's total bullshit.
What? Total bullshit, I said. Guess what the expert said? Guess what the expert said?
Things is complete pyramid. The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I've seen these.
He said it's nonsense. I said what? It's total bullshit. Let's go.
The modern day Egyptian is the ancient Egyptian. Now, you have people who filtered there doing business, doing trade, and working. Those are the people who filtered there. They're not the ancient Egyptian or the modern day Egyptian. Egypt has a spot specifically for displaced Nubians. And you will see that in my presentation within a few days also.
Pause. It's called the Nubian Village. Let's go.
You guys can't escape and get away from none of this truth I'm talking about. I'm on your ass. And you guys go and bend the knee and apologize for bullshitting black folk, for lying to black Americans, for deceiving black Americans, and taking it and acting like we got something to do with the ancient Egyptians, or that time period of the Egyptian dynasties and all that they achieved and built had something to do with us. It didn't. It didn't have anything to do with the Nubians either. The modern day Egyptian is the ancient Egyptian. Egyptians know who they are. They still have people called Coptics speaking the closest language to what the ancient Egyptians spoke, which is Coptic. And none of
And speaking of Coptic, the expert that they interviewed said this same thing also. I just don't have it queued up.
them are nappy, kinky-haired black folk. Show me some Coptics that's nappy-headed black folk speaking Coptic language. You can't? I'm shutting all this shit down. I got you.
3 years ago, I made that. And they fought me tooth and nail. They couldn't get over that the modern day Egyptians are related to the ancient Egyptians. Here it is, 3 years later. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just love hearing him say this. Hold on. Where's he at again? Hold on.
From the fourth dynasty of Egypt that built a pyramid. The idea that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I mean, I've seen these people.
Total nonsense. Psychobabble. And the only people on the planet Earth who says they disappeared is black Americans. Now, the ancient Egyptian culture went away because the sword of Islam came. Muslims came in and invaded, and all that shit changed. They are Muslims now. It's a Arabic Muslim culture now. You get it? Now, continuing on, I was going through, let's just say this. Doing my research on RMT, which means people, mankind, as you heard the experts say, I forgot my damn point. What was my point? Oh, Wallace Budd's hieroglyphic dictionary also says what Chief X says. People, mankind. Argue with Wallace Budd's dictionary, not me. I'm trying to tell you the truth. Now, I'm not going to go through this because it's a little too time consuming. This is an Egyptian hieroglyphic dictionary, right? It also agrees with me. So who's wrong here? Also, when I pull up this PDF, they're talking about mankind, destruction of mankind, right? And as you see, what I have highlighted, remit, persons, people. I don't want to go through this whole thing, but it doesn't say Egyptian. RMT means mankind, people, persons, all that old bullshit. Now, let's move on from this. Now, where was I? Because I'm a little off. I'm a little. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's go back to this.
That look that like the ancient Egyptian population has completely disappeared from the modern bloodlines of Egypt is just nonsense. I mean, I've seen these people that look like, you know, old kingdom statues and things like that. And so I have no reason to believe that the population of Egypt has changed that much. Reason to believe that the population of Egypt has changed that much. People that look like, you know, old kingdom statues and things like that. And so I have no reason to believe that the population of Egypt has changed that much.
They haven't changed. I don't care what invaders came, Egyptians stuck to themselves. Coptics stuck to themselves. Coptics marry Coptics. Coptics don't marry outside too much. Egyptians didn't marry outside too much, although they did, but it was not prevalent.
And again, these modern Egyptians, who I think are very much like their ancient ancestors. Modern Egyptians, who I think are very much like their ancient ancestors. Modern has changed that much. And again, these modern Egyptians, who I think are very much like their ancient ancestors. A lot of them would have come in a variety of shades of skin tone. And
Yeah.
I think that the Egyptians chose to represent themselves in a uniform way in art, to distinguish themselves from foreign peoples. But either way, that they were kind of stereotyping themselves and other foreign peoples, sort of as a way for, you know, stereotyped kind of identification. This is the way in Asiatics. There was great variety among the Egyptians and probably other foreign peoples.
That was a great explanation. It was very thorough. That was a great explanation. It was very thorough. That was a great explanation. It was very thorough. Put my screen on.
Now you agreeing with me, Ankh. Oh, now it's a great explanation. I've been telling you niggas that for 3 years. Now Ankh says it's a great explanation. Thank you, Ankh, for now giving me props. Now all you need to do is apologize. Now everybody needs to do is apologize. I don't even have time to play the other experts agreeing with me. I've made videos on those. Now, where do I want to continue at? I wanted to play this question Ankh asked because it's off-putting, right? Let's get to it.
Is new. So you saying it's
Now, Ankh tries to what we call lead the witness on this one. Just watch. I've always catch Ankh trying to lead the witness or lead the guy they're interviewing to say what he's been saying, so then he can have a clip and say, okay, he said what I said. Now, let me just tell you this before I play this part. There's 54 countries in Africa. All these people are indigenous Africans. What is the big deal? The Nigerians are indigenous Africans. Moroccans are indigenous Africans. Libyans are indigenous. Everybody's indigenous. I don't know why Ankh leans on this word, indigenous Africans. So he tries to lead the witness, Professor Peter Brand, to say what he's always been saying, but Peter Brand didn't fall for it. Ankh likes to say indigenous Africans because whether you're a Nigerian or Ghanaian, you're an indigenous African, right? Okay. So now you say the Egyptians are indigenous Africans. So by saying these people, the Nigerians are indigenous Africans, Egyptians are indigenous Africans, you're putting them in the same boat in the mind of the layman, aka Afrocentric, or the normal black folk. Because when they hear African and indigenous to Africa, they think of themselves. So this is a play in a word game that Ankh has been doing for the last 2 years. So you can think the Egyptians is just like you, an indigenous Nigerian, an indigenous African. Everybody's indigenous in them countries. So why has Ankh been laying on indigenous Africans so much? He doesn't want to say indigenous North African because that puts a different spin on it. And you know you're not North African, or he doesn't want to say Mediterranean because you know you're not Mediterranean. So he's been pushing this indigenous Africans, and he wants Peter Brands to say indigenous African. But it's not like that. It's deeper than that. That is a shallow way of putting it. But the mind game Ankh did that he was trying was to relate them to you. Because you came from indigenous Africans. Therefore, if Egyptians are indigenous Africans, those are the same, that's the same thing. Then you can feel comfortable thinking, hey, the Egyptians was indigenous Africans just like me and my ancestors. That's the mind game. Watch it.
Basically, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So you're saying the scholarship is based in trying to understand how the indigenous populations represented themselves. So how would you categorize it? Would you say like, would it be proper to say that to a certain extent they would be indigenous Africans?
Nice try, Ankh. Leading the witness.
Or would you say like, would it be proper to say that to a certain extent they would be indigenous Africans, or just Egyptians with different groups coming in, mixing in with them? How would you do that?
Yeah, now Egyptians would have considered themselves first and foremost Egyptians.
Okay.
When we talk now, Egyptians would have considered themselves first and foremost Egyptians.
Okay.
When we talk, that's another thing. I mean, it isn't just ideas about race, but whether people consider them.
That's not me breaking up. Peter Brand had a little bad reception. He said Egyptians would have considered themselves Egyptians. They don't give a fuck about nobody else. This is when Dr. Banoob was saying, they was asking and sweating Dr. Banoob one day, Brother Reggie. They don't consider themselves African. They consider themselves Egyptians. And that's okay. Somalians and Ethiopians consider themselves Somalians and Ethiopians. They don't always use the word African. They use what they specifically are. And this is what Peter Brand is saying. They don't put themselves in the boat with the entire continent of Africa because they know they're different than other peoples on the continent of Africa. So they separate themselves and say the Egyptians are Egyptians. This is what he's saying.
Considered themselves first and foremost Egyptians. Yeah, now Egyptians would have considered themselves first and foremost Egyptians.
Okay.
When we talk,
Egyptians, not indigenous Africans, Ankh. Although technically they are, but we're not going to do that mind game.
Another thing themselves
Mixing in with them, how would you do that?
Yeah, now Egyptians would have considered themselves first and foremost Egyptians.
Okay.
When we talk, that's another thing. I mean, it isn't just ideas about race, but whether people considered themselves black or white. Mm-hmm. It was more about who they saw themselves in terms of what we might call their ethnicity, which wasn't so much about race as it was about culture. To be Egyptian, it didn't matter what your skin color was. It was about, did you speak the Egyptian language? Did you follow Egyptian?
Okay, So no, he's not gonna say what you say, Ankh, indigenous Africans. That's your mind game word. And you tried to lead the witness. It didn't work. Okay, so let's move on. We don't have much longer to go. Right? Um, where do I want to go? Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Now, once I made the the claim that the modern day Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians, then you see this question popping up all over YouTube. Look, are modern Egyptians real Egyptians? Mr. Imhotep did this a year ago. Can you see? Why? Because Mr. Imhotep seen my video. He seen that I was going viral on TikTok, 1 million views on my video. The modern day Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. So people start asking these questions. Are modern Egyptians real Egyptians? What happened on earth to the old Egyptians? The origin genetics of ancient. Listen, right here. 6 months ago, how are modern Egyptians related to the ancient Egyptians? Right? These questions start popping up. Right? So let me get to what I really wanted to get to. Hold on. I think this is it. Okay, here we go. That's not it. Hold on, y'all. Well, let's just deal with this right here. Wudjau did a video 12 days ago. And what I was showing you guys, I did 3 years ago. This has been a 3-year discussion of Wudjau smash all Afrocentrics pushing that these people you see in the image above left corner are Egyptians. We killed that noise earlier in this live stream. But let's just hear some snippets of how we were going back and forth about shit. This was 12 days ago. Emykhet got pissed at me because I said that they blocked me on Wudjau's channel so I couldn't comment. They're fearing my comment in their chat. So I said, Emykhet or a moderator blocked me. I said, I didn't block you, Wudjau. You can talk in my chat. You can ask to come on the stream when I'm going at you. You can do all that. Wudjau can show up right now in the chat and say, ho, let me defend myself. And he's welcome on. I would never personally come at someone and not give them the ability to defend themselves. This is what everyone done to Chief X. Ankh didn't block me. All these pseudo killers channel didn't block me. Sesh Medinator, Wudjau didn't block me. So I can't comment and they can run rampant without me defending myself. They've done this for 3 years. Let's go.
Nice.
Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you finished? Can I go?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. All I'm blocked from your page. If I comment in your comment section on a video, no one will see it. If I comment on a live stream, no one will see it. All I'm saying is I'm blocked for a reason. And all I'm saying is you're not blocked from my channel. If you comment, anyone can see it. So it's a difference. I'm blocked for reasons people don't want my words to be heard by others. That's all. Okay. Now.
Okay, wait. Let me respond to
my-
it. Wait, let me respond to that. Just
Okay,
a quick
go ahead.
second. Just
Go
respond
ahead.
to that. So when you first said that, I heard you and understood you. And so my response is the same. I had no idea that you're blocked from commenting underneath archived videos or in the live chat. I had no idea until you just said it tonight.
Thank
So
you.
so that's one. But number two that you interrupted me, I was saying number two, there are more than one moderators on this channel. So I don't know if that happened. I don't know who.
Pause. I pause it. The moderators are Emykhet and Jehudi Mayat. I know who blocked me, but Emykhet's gonna lie till she goes to her grave. She blocked me because I was debunking the fuck out of Wudjau. And she couldn't take it. Wudjau was playing dumb. He may not know. But Emykhet blocked me. I'm sure of it. She can lie all she wants and act like she didn't. But anyway, let's go ahead.
Who did it either, because I'm just finding this out for the first time right now. So now my
Right.
question, wait, here's my question to you. Would you like for me, because I can go look, would you like for me to unblock you? Yes or no?
Can I comment? Can I answer yes or no and then just say a sentence?
Go ahead. I'm just saying, just answer. You can answer
Okay.
it first and then go ahead.
Yes, I would like to be unblocked, just like I don't block nobody else who I'm talking about in a video. And if I mention anybody's name, they can always comment in my chat. No one is blocked. I don't fear anyone's comment. Okay. Now I mentioned it. I know you didn't know I was blocked. This is why I said, Emykhet, tonight is your only moderator. Whether you in Jehudi Mayat, but I think he left.
You'll be
But
wrong
I'm
on that,
blocked in your
even when
chat.
mentioning Jehudi Ma'at.
Oh my goodness! Just let me finish my statement. It's okay. I'm not gonna be long. If I'm blocked in your chat, regardless if you know Wudjau, one of your moderators blocked me. Is all I'm saying. I know you
Well,
probably don't know.
All right.
okay,
Now, since
but
my name was mentioned, I need to actually speak on that because I do not like people assuming stuff. You would have asked Emykhet, did you block me? And I would have told you, no, Chief X, I did not block you because you've been a guest on this channel whenever. What was the last time you were here? Because you spoke on a panel, you spoke to me too, I spoke to you too, and you were actually commenting on a chat. I did not block you. I have no reason to block you because if I wanted to do it, I would have done it a long time ago. To be an adult, you would have actually asked me. The proper way would have been, Emykhet, did you block me? I would have said no. And then on the fact that we have actually 11 moderators on this channel, and today we have actually more than 4 people on the channel. So I don't know
Cap. This is Cap.
if you actually pay attention well, but if you didn't, you're also wrong on the fact that I was the only person, unless you like to call my name whenever, which is also just wrong. Don't use my name just as you feel like. That is just wrong. And I'm not going to sit here on this panel and then you come to this channel with me as our guest and then start saying things about me that are incorrect. So I need you to apologize for that right now and then proceed.
Okay.
Now, all that was Cap. In general, it'd be her and Jehudi Mayat as moderators on the Sesh channel. Wudjau keeps it tight. I don't think Jehudi Mayat blocked me. I think she did. So she got all hot and bothered because I called her on her bullshit. It's more to it, but I'm going to move on.
This is why I said just now before you spoke, Emykhet, on my mama and my children.
Okay, let me move on because she got an attitude. But let's get to this real quick. You ain't going to be here much longer. Screen share with y'all. I said over and over, is my screen shared with y'all? I said over and over that remit means mankind, people, or humanity. I didn't make that up. I don't do the I don't know the metanetter like you do, okay? But I can show you where it says people humanity what I said. I can also show you where it says remit. And what does that say it means right here? Noun, people, person, or thing. Human, human being, person, someone, anyone. I didn't make that up. That's what it says. Pro people, humans. Now pause. If you came late, hey, thanks for the super chat, Tunde. Thank you for that. Now, if you came late, I played the expert Peter Brand, the guy they interviewed, agreeing with me that RMT means people, mankind, humans. I showed him. He said if when you add Emykhet to it, then it means people of Egypt. But RMT alone means people, humans, or mankind. Now, my point is, I'm not so necessarily sure that it got wrong or it's erroneous. I'm not sure. Maybe when they have the writing next to um, these Nubians, maybe they're just saying, hey, this is mankind. Are not all humans mankind and people? Yes, they are. I'm not saying anything far fetched. This is not something dumb or stupid. I'm saying if it says remit, like I keep saying, you want to keep saying Egyptian, but this is the Medunet hieroglyphic. It's talking about remit, which means, as far as I can see, in far as Wallace Budge dictionary, not Chief X's dictionary. Wallace Budge dictionary says remit, RMT, means people or mankind. I didn't make that up. That's just simply a reality, right? Now, let me make this smaller. Now, I'm gonna move forward. We're gonna get out of here shortly. Hold on. Human, people, or person, and some say in Wallace Bud, mankind. Necessarily let me move forward, y'all. It's something did yesterday, and half these people did not see. Okay? My point is, them four people, them four races of men, and this is my only point. You niggas can deflect to all kind of other bullshit and act like I'm saying some other stuff and let Wudjau tell you all this and this. My point is, and you co-signed it, Wudjau, tonight, 3 times. I don't need to make a video and show you. Diop got it wrong. Asar says he comes from the Diopian school. And they piggybacked off what Diop had wrong. Diop called them people Egyptians. And this is what the Afrocentric community piggybacked off of. Them images weren't Egyptians. They were Nubians. Bottom line, Asar was wrong, and Smash was wrong, and I first went at Smash for teaching that nonsense. I just added you in later because I seen you defending the nonsense, And I played a video of you defending the nonsense and claiming that them images were Egyptians. You cats is on record. That's all I got to say. You can fool the audience all day long. I know because I've been in this community since 1992. And I know the mind games you cats been doing. And I know the blackology you cats been doing. And all of a sudden, once I make Black Egypt debunk, all of a sudden people are, oh, well, black and white, it's stupid. Why are they saying all this? This is anachronistic and this is a stupid argument. But never before did anyone say it was a stupid argument when for the last 4 decades people have been claiming the Egyptians are black folk. Nobody said it was stupid until I made Black Egypt debunk. And cats got to defending themselves and got their panties in a bunch. And all of a sudden, people are acting like, oh, well, they're not black nor white, which I claim they're not black nor white. Okay? And all of a sudden, it's a stupid argument. But you cats is here right now, streaming for 4 hours, arguing against Chief X. I clearly arguing here right now, streaming for 4 hours, arguing against Chief X. I clearly got people's panties in a bunch. I clearly got people in an uproar. And I clearly have made my point, and everyone knows it. The smart people know it, but you dumb cats can talk all this crap you want, but you are talking about my claims and my subjects, including Sean Emykhet in the chat talking that dumb stuff. You a fool, Sean. You believed Asar Imhotep in that fake pseudo-linguistics. You was a student of theirs, and you was wrong, and you can't get over it, and they was wrong. Asar's been exposed, and all you cats been exposed for miseducating black folk. Bottom line, you cats is West and Central Africans. Your ancestors are not the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians wasn't black folk, and the DNA and genetic science prove it. Bottom line, Chief X is right about every goddamn thing he said, and you cats is wrong. Wudjau, Smash, and Asar been pushing that them Nubian images are Egyptians, and they held on to that forever. I'm out of here. Peace.
Okay, Chief X, before you leave, Wudjau, I just want to share something real quick on what Chief X just shared with us. So if you see my screen.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so this is what you don't do. So this is
exactly. Wait, one second, Emykhet.
Now pause.
For the record, Chief X did his crying lullaby on his way out the door. So he left on his own accord. Just want everybody in the chat to know that he left. And that's what people do. They leave, and that's another indication of the lack of confidence to just say something to get the last word. That's what we used to do in childhood. But go ahead and
okay.
You have to.
Okay, so what Emykhet's gonna do here, we'll finish with this. She's gonna show all the way down number 9. It says Egyptians. That's what she's gonna do. And ignore the fact that it just simply means human, person, or mankind. Okay? So let me move forward.
Because it does not
only they always D.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's end that one now. Bear with me for a second, y'all.
Hold on. Explanation on the bottom says Asia. Who?
Like I said, a kneeling man. Remember I told you
About the Book of Gates, and it said they were mankind.
Okay, here we go.
So I said, and they was just talking about. But let's listen to what these top scholars, the go-to people, got to say about what RMT actually
Hold on, y'all.
If I just do RM,
Now,
see
RMT.
2 years ago, Wudjau was going to
See.
show me. Hold on.
Let me do it.
2 years ago, I made this video, and I was showing Wudjau. I said, prove RMT strictly means Egyptians, because this is his claim. And if you don't believe me, watch. And this is going to be the last point I'm going to make. So he bumbled around for 30 minutes trying to show RMT means Egyptian, and he couldn't do it. Watch.
This way. If I just do RM, then it's gonna probably find a lot of words. And just as I suspected it does, and I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, this is too big. Let me shrink this up a little. And I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, this is too big. Let me it does. And I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, this is too big.
Yeah, you're not going to find it because I'm right.
Let me shrink this up a little bit. All right. Because I'm going off the page now. All right, y'all should be able to still see it. That's fish. Okay, so let me copy this and then put it here. Okay, what I want y'all to notice, first of all, right now.
So just so you know, what he highlighted is RMT in the dictionary. And guess what's next to it? People. I don't know if y'all can see that, but let's go.
I want you to notice that the word remage means people. I showed you that earlier from a different dictionary. So I showed you a dictionary that showed you remage people, but it's a word for the Egyptians themselves. They call themselves the people, okay? They didn't use the word Egyptians, obviously, because Egyptians comes from Egyptos, which is a Greek word, all right? So they use remage, but it's referring to the ancient Egyptians. They refer to themselves as the people.
Bam! What does that say? The first thing he came to was people. It says nothing about Egyptian. The go-to guy, the baddest motherfucker in the Wudjau's opinion, first thing he went to says people right there. Let's go continue some more.
Now notice how it spells. You had that mouth, the telling rope, the like I said, a kneeling man. Remember I told you usually kneeling man, the seated or squatting woman, and then the three strokes. That's remage, the same thing. So Chief X,
He's actually a little nervous right now because he's not coming across what he really wants to come across. He is nervous this whole 5 minutes. Watch.
is daggering himself.
Now he's telling me I'm daggering myself. This is the mind game he tells y'all because he pulled it up by the baddest motherfucker they say only people. Now, how am I daggering myself when it's saying what the fuck I've been saying? You see the mind games? Just watch. Just listen and watch.
Times 2 now. Chief X is daggering himself squared because regardless of what he believes remage means, it's not the Nehisu, it's not the newbie.
It's not a belief. It's I know what it means. Nigga.
You see what he's doing to himself? So I'm gonna show you here. So let me search for you because I want to show you where scholars such as this will tell you that
Shows Cambridge and shit. I'm kind of on point so far. Let's go.
it's referring to the ancient Egyptians themselves. And let me see. See, remage people. Let's keep going.
Bam! He found it a second time. What did it say? People. It didn't say nothing else but people. 2-0. Chief X.
Remage, listening, it says, Nefer Sejem ni remage, which is listening is good for the people.
Now, right there, he said, Remit, listening is good for the people. Didn't say nothing about Egypt. Let's go.
So remage is being translated as people right here. Let's keep going.
Pause. Like I say, Remit means people.
I want you to see where he's talking about the ancient Egyptians. And I'm doing this in real time with y'all because if it
This nigga stumbling all over the goddamn place. I'm doing this in real time. Oh, damn. Chief X sounding right. I'm looking silly. Let's continue to listen to this fool stumble and bumble.
If it was any other way, I would already know the page and stuff like that. So I'm searching for Rimage where it's identified as the ancient Egyptians. We know the word literally means people, but it's identifying what people, the ancient Egyptians themselves. And I'm going to show you.
So, Wudjau, you admit I am right. It do mean people, huh? Even your go-to guy saying people. What? So you said I wasn't right about nothing. Either you're lying or you can't hear good. Let's continue. Watch Wudjau stumble and bumble.
This particular scholar, because Chief X has an issue with black scholarship. If you're quote unquote black, you do scholarship, you are Afrocentric and just dumb. So see, deceited man is an idiom for Rimage people. See, I see he has people here, but I'm gonna connect that to Egyptians. Give me a minute. Here is another ideogram for people, Rimage. You see Rimage, people. We're gonna keep going. Rimage, people, I already showed you all that. Rimage, literally people of the estate, which is Rimage Jet. Oh, sir.
Pause. Hard pause right here. He's still saying people. Now this one says Remit dash something. And the translation is people. Not people of Egypt, but this translation, I guess he's saying, says people of the estate. Now, remember I said it depends on what comes after Remit. Remember I said it depends on what comes after Remit. Remember I said it depends on what comes after Remit. I said it depends on what comes after Remit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a powerful thing right there. Now watch. Hold on. Hold on real quick, y'all. Well, that's not it. I wanted to show you the expert saying the exact same thing that I just said, but I can't find the timestamp. Okay, here it goes. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Can only conceive of in writing. So that's how you conceive of the idea of an abstract idea. But most hieroglyphic signs are these pictorial signs that have no actual sound value.
You know what? I'm not gonna waste your time, but he said exactly the same thing. It depends what you say after RMT. Okay. Wudjau didn't know this, obviously. So let me end this real quick. Let me just play Wudjau stumbling and bumbling again.
The RMT. So right here it says Remit dash, looks like a DT. It serfs. Whoever owned this estate had serfs, had peasants.
Hold on, y'all.
Prisoners, the prisoner.
And Rimage is being translated here as people.
About people! Right there means the measure of people's worth. They're talking about people! The go-to guy, the expert, saying it.
Okay, so anyway, I don't want to hold y'all too long. Wudjau stumbled and bumbled for 15 minutes to prove me wrong, and he couldn't do it. All he can do is show Remit alone simply means people or mankind. That's it. Why is my screen blacked out? Hold on, y'all. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. So, y'all, 3 points we made clear today. RMT alone simply means people or mankind. The experts say the modern day Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians, which I've been saying forever. The entire Amun-Ra squad has tried to play everyone and teach that those Nubians are Egyptians, and they weren't. It's just that simple. Wudjau did a 4-hour live stream 12 days ago. Next day, he did another 3-4 hours. Then the next day, he did another 3-4 hours strictly on the subject of, are those Egyptians, are those Nubians, strictly on this. Let me just show you the picture. In 1 week, he did 3 live streams on this. Why? Because Chief X debunked it. They can't get over it. And he's not going to do 12 hours on me if I didn't have a point. And he's not trying to cover for himself. Those 12 hours he did just last week, all on me and my stance, was him being shook in his boots and trying to cover for himself and clean it up. I showed people 2 weeks ago Wudjau making a video 3 years ago claiming that these are Egyptians and that's how Egyptians looked. They all did it. There's no backing out of it. I'm the only one in the community after decades of this fucking lie who cleaned it up. What y'all talking about in the chat? I wish you'd say, damn, Chief, I wish you would take your feet off their neck. You hurting them folk. Oh, man. This is easy. I'm not even an Egyptologist. I'm nothing close. But I can point out their lies. I can correct so-called conscious community scholars. Let me just read a few comments. So, hey, Tunde, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Trust me, I do. Really appreciate it. So, people want me to believe that Diop didn't know no better than this. That Diop was so scholarly, he just got something wrong only. No, Diop did some lying and manipulating along with getting shit wrong. This was one of the things he should have never had in his book. Why would he even think that them two black figures are two different peoples? This is not even the 4 races of men. So these are other pictures people tried to use, right? Here, these are the 4 races of men. The Egyptians, the Libyans, the Nubians, and the Asiatics. Those are the 4 races of men. I don't know where these nincompoops come up with this facsimile from. If you see any Afrocentric using this to make a point, tell them to knock it off. Then Wudjau tried to say this is Lepsius. It's not even Lepsius. Richard Lepsius photo. And Manu Ampem, watch this. Manu Ampem, in case you guys forgot, right here, Africana Studies, Professor Manu Ampem, as you see, has used this for decades to try to tell you this an Egyptian on the left. He has a whole blog on it. And he called it, as you see there, Table of Nations. The Table of Nations, as you see right here. Like, well, how this is not no goddamn Table of Nations, people. It's supposed to represent the 4 races of men, but it's erroneously trying to represent. These are the 4 races of men. No, usually it's just 4, but this is the picture of the 4 races of men. There's 4 of each of them. Nobody got it twisted except Afrocentrics. I'm sorry. This dumb shit. They've been fucking with y'all for decades with that bullshit. That's all I wanted to do today. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. Palermo said, Chief, bring up the Viceroy painting. Did I show one a little bit? Now this, as you see, even the Professor Peter Brand yesterday was saying the women are usually depicted white or yellow. Yeah, they are. Right? And this woman in the middle right here, this is a Nubian woman. She's a wife of an Egyptian. An Egyptian married a Nubian woman, and there she goes. So this lady here on the left and this lady on the right are Egyptian women, right? The man right here is an Egyptian man. These 2 behind him are Nubian men, aka black folk. People try to even use this for some manipulation and act like this woman sitting in a chair who they kind of like give an honoring to is an Egyptian woman. Nope. She's a Nubian woman that an Egyptian married. I forget the goddamn names. Afrocentric's been lying about this painting for fucking decades. Well, I wasn't even showing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My screen wasn't showing. Let me just do it in case. Wait a minute. Let me just show you again. I don't think my screen was sharing. This is what I was showing if you didn't see. This woman right here is a Nubian woman that Egyptians married. that an Egyptian married. I forget the Egyptian man's name. This woman behind her is an Egyptian woman. They're painted white or yellow. That's how you know. Only Nubian women are painted pitch black or dark brown. Egyptian women be yellow and white. That's how you know they weren't black also. This is an Egyptian woman. This is an Egyptian man. And the two men behind him are Nubian men. Black folk. Afrocentrics have been lying about this picture also, but I may do another video strictly on this one day. And if I didn't have my screen sharing while I was showing this, those are the 4 races of men, but they just have them in pairs of 4. Okay? A lot of them things I find out are wigs or headdresses. Even though in your mind you may think it's an afro, no. It'd be headdresses or wigs. Thanks, Donnie. You said I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm sorry. Astro, I see you too. Tunde, I see you. I didn't have my screen shared. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to do. So we can leave here understanding that RMT alone strictly means people. So because RMT is next to Nubians, it could be a mistake. Some scholars are saying RMT just means Remich just means people, mankind. Who fucking knows? But no longer, long as you know, RMT alone means people or mankind or humans. RMT in Kemet or KMT are like here. Let's do this and we're gonna end it. Let's do this and we're gonna end it. Let me share my screen. Where is it at? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some up in it. Is that the one? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me make it smaller and get my bearings together. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. You know what? I can't find it, but I was trying to show you RMT and KMT. But anyway, that's okay. Y'all, I'm up out of here. I got shit to do. Enjoy your evening. I appreciate your time.